Hello and welcome, or welcome back to the channel. I'm Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot, and today we are doing January highlights for all 12 signs with the Rune Magic Oracle deck, the Ethereal Visions Tarot Luna Edition, and the Moonology Manifestation Oracle deck. So welcome. Thank you for being here. As always, this is a general reading for a general audience, so not everything that comes through will be for you. Please take what resonates for you and leave the rest for somebody else. I have broken every sign out into a chapter, so you'll find your sign broken off into a chapter. Feel free to check out the reading for your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign, stellium placement, whatever feels appropriate for you. See you there. Hello, Aries. Let's get your Rune card. Ingoose. Nice. And your Moonology Manifestation card. First quarter moon in Gemini, speak your world into being. Wow, there couldn't be a better card for the start of the new year. Actually, I'm going to put this over here. Let's do like this. Yes. And now we'll pick a theme card from the tarot, and then we'll pick some clarifiers. Your theme card, Page of Swords. Okay. King of Cups, Two of Swords, Three of Cups. Okay. Three of Cups. Okay. Love this. Beautiful. Okay, so starting with your rune card, we have Ingoose, which is the rune of sort of seed potential. Some interpret, let's get this into focus. Some would interpret this as, oh gosh, I don't want to creep anyone out, but I think it can also be important for some people or useful for some people. So I'm going to try to be gentle as I say this. But there is a part of the female anatomy that is very small but very potent. And so some people read this rune as that very small, very potent part of the female anatomy with potential to provide pleasure. And sometimes people read this particular rune as that pleasure provided. So it can be both the seed or the potential and also the pleasure. So take that as you will. The sort of alpha and the omega of that pleasure. We have that oracle or that rune paired with the speak your world into being. So there's very much the advice here about communication, reaching out, connecting, using social media, applying, like if you need to for your career or improving your job situation, talking to your boss about a raise, a new title, a better position, better hours, that sort of thing. If that doesn't apply to you, talking to your professor, your teacher, that sort of thing. Talking to your partner, making improvements in your life by using your voice, asking for what you what you want. Speak your world into being. And this is echoed entirely in your tarot, this idea. Your theme is the Page of Swords, and pages are messengers, and swords is the area of communications, thoughts, ideas. So this is also speak your world into being in the tarot. So this is very much about learning how to communicate better, getting excited about using social media, about putting yourself out there, about applying, interviewing, auditioning, but not just showing off, but communicating your ideas, communicating your knowledge, your philosophies. And this is supported by these cards here. We have the King of Cups, which feels like a mentor, a professor, possibly a dad, maybe a boss, somebody that can offer you something or give you guidance, maybe a role or a job, advice. This could also be something like a therapist. In any case, this would be a person, possibly a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, that is emotionally mature, available, present, could be funny, creative, available to talk to you, someone you feel comfortable being your whole vulnerable self with, and talk out your ideas with, present your ideas to, share ideas with, and this person might be able to, if at the very least, offer advice, but potentially a role, a position, a connection, something like that. We also see here the Two of Swords, which suggests you might be torn between two of something or making a decision, and that could be because you don't have enough information to make a decision. So whether you're bouncing ideas off this person, it may really be that you need more information. You just don't have enough facts, enough data. It could also be likely that the solution is in a third option that you are not yet aware of, or you're so torn between what you think are your options, you're not making yourself aware of this third possibility. So don't move forward if you don't feel great about, either of these two options, because there is something else or some other fact that is not yet in play that will allow you to make a decision. Only choose when you feel good and solid about moving forward. Finally, we have the Three of Cups here, which is very much a celebration card. So there will be something to celebrate, perhaps when you make the decision, you make the choice, when you have enough information, or when you find that third option, whatever it is, you will be able to move forward. So, Aries, we have here in this reading, speaking your world into being requires connecting with friends and mentors and asking the right questions to get the information, to share your ideas and be able to move forward in January. I hope this is helpful and inspirational. Hello, Taurus. Let's grab your Rune card. Laguz. That is the flow. And your Moonology card is last quarter moon in Virgo. Attend to the details. Okay. and your tarot, we will grab one card for a theme, and we will grab 3 clarifying cards. Your theme is 2 of Swords, and you're clarifying 6 of Cups, 7 of Cups, 3 of Wands. Okay. Okay. So for Laguz, we have the flow. This is sort of the feminine principle, water, fluidity, emotion, but the sort of power of connection and connectivity and being in the flow, intuition. And it's so awesome that it's connected with this other sort of side of the spectrum, this very mental, attend to the details piece. So we've got strength in January in both the flow and the detail piece, the very analytical and then the flow. So we've got both pieces working for you in January. And then as your theme, we have the 2 of Swords. And maybe that's why, because you've got both of these pieces working, we find you in a bit of a hesitation to make a decision. The 2 of Swords is usually a moment of indecision, struggling or feeling torn between 2 options or 2 people or 2 situations, not being sure which way to go. Now, if you're feeling unsure of moving forward or being torn between 2 options or struggling to make a decision, that's okay. It usually means that you don't have enough information. If you don't feel good about moving forward, then don't. Ask more questions. Attend to the details. Get more information. Now, it could be that there's a piece of data that you don't have that you need to make the decision. But it could also be that there is a third option or something that has not yet come into the picture that is really the better choice for you. Or it could just be that now is not the time to move forward. So if you don't feel good about moving forward, then don't. So that it is, saying no or not yet is also an option. It is important for the details to look right and for it to feel good. And if it doesn't look good on paper and if it doesn't feel right in your heart, now is not the time to move forward. But consider expanding your horizon, looking for another option or alternative, or waiting for a better moment or something. Because if what is right, the 2 options that you are aware of right now don't meet these criteria, these are not the options for you. And it could be like not this month or perhaps later in the month that you find the correct solution. Now, to support you in this, we have these clarifying cards. The 6 of Cups shows that you have a friend or a sibling or perhaps even a coworker that gets you, that gets this, that will be supportive in whatever this is. This may be even be a collaborator or someone that's going in on you. This could be really in any arena of life. The cards don't really suggest, it could be a piece of property, it could be a job, it could be a relationship. It could even depend, Taurus, on it could be different for different Taurians watching this. But a friend could be supportive, helpful, have some insight. And this Seven of Cups is also sort of supporting this idea that there are more options than maybe you have been considering. So maybe look farther afield, look in a different neighborhood or adjacent or something. There could be more out there than what you have considered. This also suggests expanding your horizon will bring you the success that you are looking for. The Three of Wands is a success card. It is also a following your passion card. So there is a piece about, your own desires as opposed to just the details and, what looks right on paper and what feels good in your heart. There's also this passion piece, right? The part that's connected to maybe your ego or like what you want to leave of your legacy piece, expanding your horizons, expanding your empire, if you will. Take that as it resonates for you. Not everybody wants to say conquer, but there is a piece in this card that is about reaching out beyond what is safe and smart and into what feeds your passion. So because that is going to be unique to every Taurian watching this, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this is helpful and inspirational. Gemini, hello. Let's get your Rune card. Nothis. Okay. Let's get your Moonology card. New Moon in Taurus. Know your worth. Love it. And for the tarot, we will grab one card for the theme and 3 clarifiers. Nine of Wands. Okay. Sorry, that's not in focus. Okay. Oh. Oh, nice. Okay. All right. Yeah, this makes sense. Okay, so starting with Nothis. This is also connected, Gemini. Nothis is the rune of need or necessity. It does indicate a sort of a time of challenge that inspires creativity. So sometimes it's about willpower or an inner fire or some kind of situation that causes you to have to be strong. So it could be the kind of thing where, like, sometimes it comes up in the idea of like a natural storm, like causes a need to have to power through or be creative to deal with a natural storm or, situation like that. Or, when we all had to kind of pivot a bit during COVID. Now, that's not to say we're about to be hit with another pandemic that's going to turn everything upside down for a couple of years. But we all are kind of noticing prices are different now than they have been in the past. And we're all having to be a little bit more creative, maybe about recipes or things like that. And Nathi's kind of speaks to that need to maybe adjust recipes or do more upcycling of clothes for the kids or things like that when times are challenging in that kind of way. Or sometimes it's about a choice you make for yourself. Like if you're a struggling artist, sometimes you make a choice, you know what? I am going to take the harder path in life, and I am going to put myself on a more insecure path in order to chase a dream. And I'm going to have to be more creative about how, I feed myself and pay the rent. And that's just the life I am choosing for myself. And sometimes that's what this card speaks to. The fact that it's coming up for you for January, Gemini, I don't want to scare you, and it doesn't necessarily speak to financial insecurity, but it can speak to a need to be creative in that kind of way for a time or for a purpose. Maybe you choose to have a budget wedding just to choose it can be done under budget, or because having a big frou-frou wedding isn't important to you. It could be that kind of a thing. So take it as it resonates for you, but this card does indicate being creative in response to a particular challenge, and what that challenge is and how you choose to respond to it is going to be unique for different Gemini watching, the different kinds of Geminis watching this. Paired with this, creativity in response to a challenge card, we have know your worth. So this is kind of sticking to that confidence piece and this can come up in a number of different situations, right? Like when you're negotiating a salary in a job situation. This can be true in a relationship when you're negotiating, sort of your needs in a relationship, in a new relationship, or even in an established relationship, right? Know your worth. Take that as it resonates for you. But what's interesting here, too, is this doesn't have to be negative. So let's keep that in mind. It's going to be different for different Gemini, but this can be speaking to taking positive steps and making conscious choices to be creative in response to a challenge, and to empower yourself towards relationship growth by communicating what you need in a relationship. If perhaps you could be stating or telling a crush for the first time that you have feelings for them. Knowing your worth can show up as, I'm going to take a chance on my crush, and I'm going to risk telling someone how I feel because I'm awesome and that person is awesome, and we'd be adorable together. It's that it can be that kind of a situation, right? So I've belabored the oracle cards long enough. Let's move into the tarot. The theme here, the Nine of Wands, is very related to our oracle cards here, in that it speaks to setting good boundaries and taking care of yourself because you know your worth, and because you want to have the most sort of power and vitality and resources remaining for what's really, truly important moving forward. It looks like there's some cool stuff happening later in the month. but you may be sort of recovering. Maybe you did a lot over the holidays. Maybe you had some parties or a wedding or something big, or maybe you got sick over the holidays and you're in recovery. But it looks like a big theme for you in January could be setting some boundaries or planning your schedule to make sure there's a good sort of work-play balance. Being able to make time for what's really important and significant and must have, must do, and maybe putting some stuff on the back burner that, you know, you just really would love to be able to manage for people, but logically you can't have in your schedule anymore. It's okay to say no moving forward. And that's what the Nine of Wands reminds us of. Sometimes that's what Know Your Worth reminds us of too. That's what sometimes Nathis can remind us of or support us in as well. So consider that. But let's look at these beautiful clarifiers, because while these may feel negative, these cannot feel negative. The Three of Pentacles is absolutely both a card of teamwork and success within a team, and also sort of standing out within your team. This most often comes up in sort of career, work, job, or like school environment, where you might be singled out from your peers as being maybe getting some sort of award or validation, maybe a leadership role. This could be a leveling up, a promotion. You're acknowledged in some way, more clients, more orders, something along those lines. Take it as it resonates for you. With the Four of Wands, we have an acknowledgement of a success, an achievement. This can come up for students as like a graduation day, a licensing, something like that. This could be opening night or closing night for my actor friends out there, the launch of a product or a channel, a wedding, an engagement. This is usually something that is an achievement that we want to celebrate with friends, family, loved one, peers, colleagues, co-workers. And here is another party celebration. Usually this one is just for fun. This can be a harvest celebration, but this can also be just to get together with the girls or the guys. Gender is not really important, actually, but just to socialize. This could be for singles out there. This could be getting back in the swing of dating. This could be a lot of dates, having a lot of dates on your social calendar. Take it as it resonates. Take it as it applies to you. But we do see, because we have a couple of threes, that can mean teamwork, that can mean collaboration, that can mean socialization. But again, there is this reminder to say no if you need to delegate if you need to. Be really mindful of your energy, of your health, of your time, and constraints on your resources, while you are definitely getting recognized and achieving goals. I am going to leave it there for you, Gemini. Congratulations. January is going to be taxing and also validating. I hope this is helpful and inspirational. Hello, Cancer. Let's get a rune card for you. Othala. That's one of my faves. Let us get a Moonology card for you. Talk less, feel more. Last quarter moon in Pisces. All right. And for the tarot, oops, Queen of Cups, there's your card. For the tarot, we are going to grab one card for a theme, and then we are going to grab 3 clarifiers. Okay, just one moment. So your theme is the Two of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Swords, Ace of Cups. Well. That's something. Wow. Okay. This is pretty potent here, Cancer. So starting with Othala, this is the rune of legacies and inheritance. Now, this can come in a few ways, right? So it can be literally stuff, you know, like from a will, you can get money, you can get items, you can inherit something from a family member, like the family restaurant, right? The family business. You can inherit traits from a family member, like red hair or anger management issues, or you can inherit health problems like alcoholism or heart disease, right? We don't love that stuff as much. But this can also be, you know, kind of support, like love and support, seen and unseen from your family members, your ancestors, you know, maybe some on the other side. And take that as it resonates from you. There could be unseen support. There could be direct support in January that you could be aware of. We'll see how it plays out. The other oracle card here we have is Talk Less, Feel More. So I can't help but point out that if some of you may be feeling an awareness of an ancestor, maybe a loved one that has, it is on the other side, shall we say, it might be the kind of thing where you feel support or connection in January. This talk less, feel more, this inheritance piece could be speaking to that. I'm going to go into the tarot and we'll see the other ways that these oracle cards can be connecting to what's going on in the tarot, because the Two of Wands is a little bit different. This is kind of about your plan to move forward, the plans for the January and maybe the new year, right? Because the Two of Wands is about taking what you've already built and moving forward. Maybe the sort of resolutions, the plans, the scheduling, whatever you've got going, whatever didn't happen in 2025 that you want to make sure you're able to build or bring forward in the new year. You know, we see some definite, you know, ideas, plans, hopes, goals, and passion projects. And the fact that this card comes up shows this character, even though it's kind of male in this card, this character is ready to make things happen, right? And this is absolutely supported in these cards here. So firstly, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Your luck is changing. This is a new season, a new cycle, a new beginning. It's not just the new year. It's not just a fresh start. It's not just that you've got a new vitality here and you're newly revitalized with the new beginning. But this is a new cycle of luck. So where things felt stuck before, where it felt like there were not opportunities, new people, new opportunities are going to appear. So whether you're looking for a new job, you know, you'll be able to make inroads in terms of interviews or making connections with people who have openings in their company or whatever. If you're looking for maybe romance or connections in that way, you'll find more opportunities. And we'll see this later in the reading as well with the Ace of Cups. Talk less, feel more. But in any case, wherever you're looking for opportunities, there's also opportunities for more flow in terms of financial abundance. Just this is an excellent card for more flow. We also see this is the Wheel of Fortune is a 10 card, which breaks down to a 1, a new beginning, a new cycle. The 10 of Swords is a 10, which breaks down to a 1, a new beginning. Aces are 1s, a new beginning. So you have 3 1s. These are all, you know, new, fresh start, fresh start, fresh start. So it's all fresh, all new beginning. I'm going to be coming out with a, for those of you who are interested in a career advancement, I'm going to have a pick-a-pile video for career readings coming out in a few days. So keep an eye out for that. That might be interesting to you as well. But these are all new beginnings there. And even though the 10 of Swords looks like the ending of something, of course, endings come with what? New beginnings. And although this character looks like he's been through it, you may identify with it if you've been through an ending or need to release something. Maybe you even just need to release the idea that there have been no opportunities, or need to release a cycle of bad luck, or the feeling of bad luck, or the feeling of emptiness, or something like that. Light a candle, say, I release that cycle, or whatever it might be. Good riddance to whatever this ending needs to be, and let it go, and we embrace this new cycle. The Ace of Cups, the new beginning you have been waiting for. Something you are going to be loving, and something that is going to be fulfilling, and something that makes your heart so happy. Something that fills your cup is on its way to you, and it starts in January, right? It might be the sort of thing that evolves, or a journey that takes months, but it starts in January. So it could be something like a new relationship, or a relationship that evolves to a new place, or takes a new, sort of turn, or renews in January. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it certainly could be, or just a new phase of how you approach romantic relationships begins in January. And maybe it's the kind of thing where you've been single for a while and you decide, all right, well, I'm finally going to go on those darn dating apps. And, you start in January. Maybe you start having dates in January, or maybe you meet a person in January. Now, it doesn't have to be a romantic chapter. It can be a platonic chapter. It can be a phase where you just you start getting out of the house. It could actually be a job-related phase where you finally get that dream job, actually. That job that you've been excited for, or in the industry you've been wanting to break into your whole entire life. And it's the thing that makes you so happy and validated and fulfilled. You can't even believe it. And, it sets you on a path towards, I don't know, maybe even home ownership or whatever, or the place where the job that you're so happy to be in, and you meet, someone who later there's a million ways this could play out. It depends on the specific, it depends on your specific circumstances. Take it as it resonates for you. But something wonderful and beautiful and validating that expands your connections and your feeling of satisfaction. Satisfaction doesn't even cover it, but it's the closest we have, right? Your emotional satisfaction, your peace, joy, and delight, your feeling of connection, that starts in January. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope this has been inspirational. Hey, Leo, let's grab your rune card. Wunjo, that's awesome. Okay, let's grab your Moonology card. Reflect on your priorities. Okay, I'll take it. Okay, so for the tarot, we're going to grab one card for the theme and then 3 clarifiers. Your theme is justice, and a gorgeous justice that is. We have the 6 of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the 7 of Cups. Okay, I see what's happening here. Okay. Yeah, okay, so excellent, Wunjo. We gotta love this, because this is joy, this is victory, this is rebirth, this is what you want when you get a rune, right? This is something excellent happens. You get, a victory. You get a gig. You get a kiss. Your crush admits that they're into you. This is the thing. This is the thing you want. You get it. Now, with this one, reflect on your priorities. This is that thing where sometimes this isn't a spanking, but this is, let's stay focused on the stuff that you want and not get sidetracked by the other shiny things that will take you away from the stuff that's really important. Now, I mention this because so many Leos are like entrepreneurial, right? And you have the stuff, so many Leos have like the side hustle and the creative thing and the entrepreneurial thing, and then maybe a day job, and then the thing that gives them money, and then so many Leos have a bunch of things going on, and maybe the other dream job, and then also they're a rock star, on the weekends, so you can maybe get distracted sometimes by a bunch of different spotlights. What's really important? Where are you really going to put your focus now? And in January, maybe in the new year, where are you going to get the most bang for your buck? Let's get serious now. And also, Leo, because you can be so generous sometimes, you can be too generous and give more of yourself than you give to your own sort of dreams. So let's focus on your priorities, because we see something is coming in for you. For me, justice is the contract card. So you've got a gig coming in, or you've got a new job coming in, or maybe an engagement or something. Something wants to commit to you. Something wants to you. And we see this here also with the Six of Pentacles, okay? The Six of Pentacles is coming to you. There's a give and take here, a reciprocity to you. So you don't need to be giving away the store or getting distracted by, it's fine that you are generous and it's great, but that's gotten you away from your own priorities in the past. So let's focus on you. Let's focus on your dream job. If you're going to be on TV or like whatever your dream thing is, whatever your main thing is, let's focus on that, and let's get that contract going first, okay? Let's focus on your main thing, and then later on you can be generous. But let's get your main thing going, because that is coming in January. I'm so excited for you. We have a go card with the Chariot. The Chariot is forward momentum, progress, the next thing, the thing that you want. You get the green light, or the drive. The traditional Rider-Waite Smith has the central character with a crown with the 8-pointed star on it. We see so many stars in the tarot, right? But the Charioteer has an 8-pointed star on it, meaning the 8-pointed star is the directions, north, south, east, west, and then the little other little the northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest, right? That's the 8-pointed star. That's all about directions. So you get to decide where you're going to go. Just you get to decide where the momentum is behind you or under you, or it's go time, right? So this is a yes, this is a go, this is a victory. It's happening. Be ready with your materials, your portfolio, your whatever it is, your resume, whatever you need. Have your social media polished, have your suit pressed and cleaned, whatever it is time. This is it. Your court date has arrived. Whatever it is, it's time to present your thesis. It's now. This is it. January is the month. Okay. Now, the only thing, again, we have to remember here is there's other opportunities that are going to try to distract you. The Seven of Cups here shows all these other little opportunities, all these little sort of dog whistles and little, hey, Missy, over here, and, shiny, distracting things, and white vans with guys with candy, weird opportunities. Reflect on your priorities and stick with your main things, and you'll get the reciprocity in the stuff that you've been working towards, your main stuff, and be ready for that. You've got 2 major arcana cards here of the 4 tarot cards, which is great. You've got joy, but just focus on the stuff that matters. Don't get distracted. You can have your reciprocity on the stuff you've worked for and the stuff you've earned, but just don't get distracted by the other shiny junk, okay? That is your reading, Leo. Congratulations. I hope this has been inspirational. If you focus on your main priorities, you are going to go like a rocket ship. This is your month. It finally happens now. Congratulations. Hello, Virgo. Let's get your rune. Othala. This has come up already today. That's okay. I love it. This is one of my faves. Your Moonology card. take a reality check. Okay. Let's see how that plays out. All right, for the tarot, we are going to take a theme card and 3 clarifiers. The theme is the Page of Wands. And 4 of Wands, love it. 7 of Wands. 2 of Wands, that is a lot of fire for you, Virgo. That is a lot of fire. Wow. Okay. So you're hitting the ground running, at least with a lot of ambition, with a lot of inner fire. So starting with your rune, Othelot is the rune of legacy, of heritage. It's what you inherit from your family, your ancestors, right? So it can be it can be stuff. It can be actual stuff, like from a will. Sometimes you get money. Sometimes you get possessions like Nana's brooch, or, you know, sometimes you inherit stuff. Like my very first car I got was from my uncle, my grandfather's brother. It was a Volare. Like it was a 67 Volare. That was the first car I owned. It sounds maybe sexy now. Maybe it doesn't. But sometimes, you know, you just inherit stuff from family. Sometimes you inherit traits like red hair or anger management issues. Sometimes you inherit, you know, maybe medical issues like heart disease or alcoholism. Sometimes it's not great stuff you inherit, right? Sometimes they pass along things like it's your turn to run the family business. Like they hand over the keys to the family business after you've earned it through years of, you know, working for your parents after they worked for their parents, kind of thing. And it can be a real family legacy, right? So take that as it resonates for you. January could be a real month where you're aware of something you've inherited from family. It could just be being aware of support from your family. It could be an awareness of something you want to leave to family, your own kids, or maybe generally something you want to leave for the world. And sometimes it's that negative space, right? Being aware that you didn't get something from family and you want to leave something that you didn't get. Or being aware of missing family, maybe really being aware of missing a loved one who has passed over. It could be something like that too. But a lot of times I see this when it's time, when I'm thinking about how a particular talent or skill is in play, a particular talent or skill that I've inherited from my ancestors, and thinking about how they're watching me now. So it could be something like that. Now, take a reality check. That's hardcore. It sounds hardcore, right? But it could really be the kind of thing where, especially in the beginning of not just the beginning of the month, but the beginning of the year, full moon in Capricorn. Wait a minute, where are we? We're not at a full moon in Capricorn, but we are in Capricorn right now. We are in Capricorn season as I record this. And so it could very much be about, you know, the lists or the sort of plans that we make at the beginning of the year. Maybe, you know, your resolutions, starting to plot out goals for the coming year, schedules, that sort of thing. What is realistic to accomplish in the coming year? I think a lot of times when we're planning our resolutions, we might not always be realistic. It's kind of a crazy list of things we're going to do that we give them up within the first month or within, first few weeks because we're too ambitious. And I'm looking at your tarot, and this is all ambition, baby. This is so the Wands cards are all about ambition, and that's what you've got. Your reading is all ambition, which is, I hope I don't offend you terribly when I say I don't usually think of ambition when I think of Virgo. I think of detail. I think of hardworking, but I don't always pair ambition with hardworking, right? So maybe that's the secret sauce, because Virgos are so detail oriented and so focused on doing the work that's where they tuck in the ambition. It's kind of your little secret. But in any case, so the reality check is, despite the fact that you're so good at the details and so good at being productive, what is realistic in the next month, in the next year? And what can you really do towards your goals? What is just busy work? What is just details? And what will really feed that ambition? Because when we look at the tarot, we see your theme for January is the Page of Wands. And as I mentioned, that Wands is the suit of ambition, fire, drive, creativity, what gets you up in the morning. It's not just doing the work. It can't just be doing the work to get it done, to cross it off the list. There's a certain amount of validation or a certain amount of joy in accomplishment. But behind that, there's got to be something more. There's got to be something deeper. That sense of ambition, that sense of having an ego attachment to the accomplishment. It's not just that the thing got done. It's that I did it. This person, this unique individual. That's what the Wands are all about. And the Page of Wands, is connected to the messaging around my needs. And let's clear up right now, since you've got so many wands in this reading. Ego is not a bad thing. It's not. It's just it's your identity. So it's connecting with your sense of self and your sense of accomplishment, right? So the Page of Wands is getting excited about a passion project, getting excited to do a passion project, to initiate a passion project, sharing your ideas about a passion project. So what that might exactly be is going to be different for different Virgos watching this, right? But it could be a play. It could be starting a book club. It could be, starting training for a marathon that you might do for charity. Some folks train to do a marathon to raise money for charities. It could be a number of different things. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to launch a YouTube channel. There's so many ways it could start out, but there's some sort of passion project or entrepreneurial project or new career path or something that you may be launching, starting, gathering information about, training on, something like that starts in January. And we see the sort of first phases of success or some kind of success to celebrate early in January with the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a success card. And it's the kind of success that you share with others, friends, family, loved ones, colleagues, collaborators, employees, employers. This could be graduating, getting a license, getting engaged. It could be launching a YouTube channel, starting that book club and make it, again, it could happen in so many different arenas of your life or so many different ways, depending, take it as it resonates for you. But then we also see another way here. This could be with the Seven of Wands, we have some sort of audition, interview, expansion of this idea, this passion project, this philosophy, this entrepreneurial endeavor. You could be pitching your project. You could be interviewing for a job or auditioning in some way, defending a thesis in some way. This is my audition card. So however that applies in your situation, this is you showing up and showing off, or testing your theory, showing your work or your worth to an interested and interesting audience. And you're moving from sort of strength to strength. We see you going from, this is kind of ground level here at the end of the month. You're on a plateau or like another level, and you're looking down, looking for sort of the next level, the next plateau, what comes next. So you're building on from the original idea to sort of the next idea, looking for new vistas, new horizons. It's a very exciting project, prospect, adventure, and again, it'll be different for different Virgo, but it's ambitious and probably unlike anything you've done yet. I hope you're inspired, Virgo, because I'm excited for you. I'm going to leave it there. Hello, Libra. Let's get your Rune card. Yara or Jera. Heard it pronounced a few ways, but either way, it's a great card. Let's get your Moonology card. Oop, too many. Try that again. Reveal what needs to be seen. Last quarter moon in Scorpio. Okay. That's cool. Okay. And then for the tarot, we're going to grab a theme card and clarifiers. So your theme card is Seven of Swords. Interesting. And your clarifiers, Five of Wands, Strength, Eight of Wands. Okay, that is cool. I see what's happening here. That is cool. So your tarot is dovetailing nicely with your oracle cards here. So Jera or Yara is the harvest card, or seasons, cycle, or the year card. So the fact that it shows up at the end of the year for the beginning of the year, it makes total sense. It's kind of like a year end or a cycle end or the harvest card. So to begin a cycle or to start the year, this is all about cycles and seasons. It can mean harvest, but it can also mean starting the new year, starting a season, or being aware of the years, being aware of seasons and harvest, and there being a right time and a right season for things, and or a right season to share things, or a right time to do things and a not right time to do things. And this is going to become significant because your advice from the Moonology card is reveal what needs to be seen, which implies there are things that can remain hidden, or there are times when things should not be revealed, right? And that's the critical thing about a couple of these cards here with the Seven of Swords and the Five of Wands. The Seven of Swords is your theme card. Some tarot readers think of this as a not great card. I think this is a smart card. This is a card about strategy. This is a card about getting ahead of your competition by being smarter than your competition, by using strategy. This is the chess card. Chess as opposed to checkers. It's like 3D chess or 5D chess, like legitimately. This is maybe being, so the artwork in this card is the central character, kind of a young person, is using brains rather than brawn to win the battle. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith version of the card, you see the central character is sneaking away with some swords from a battlement, like an armory place in the sort of battlefield, so that he is disarming his, or her, but I mean it looks kind of male, disarming the enemy so that they can't fight, so they have no armor. So the soldiers, who are probably better trained and better equipped, can't fight, and so that they win by default. Is that too sneaky? I mean, like, when it comes right down to it, all's fair in love and war. Like, you got to do what you got to do in some situations. So this is about being smart, and fighting with your brains rather than brawn, especially using the tools that you have. And if you have brains rather than brawn, then use your brains. And in this case, using your brains. Okay, I've belabored that enough. So there's also an element of being kind of sneaky, but like sort of needing to be sneaky. So it's not about lying. It's about the strategy is not revealing things, because that's how you win in that. Like, you can only steal the swords by being sneaky. And if that's your only way of defeating a stronger, better armed army, well, that's what you have to do, right? Now, that kind of goes with the Five of Wands here, because the Five of Wands indicates an environment of a little bit of chaos. So it could be in the beginning of the month, maybe the first week coming back from the holidays or whatever. There's a little bit of chaos. Maybe people around you, especially if you work a 9-to-5 job or whatever kind of job, or if you go to school, there's a bit of chaos, or people are in their egos about whatever, or there isn't great leadership at the place you're at, something like that. And there could be a bit of chaos. Using your brains, or, using some strategy, or it could be actually using a strategic message, because swords are the suit of messaging, using a very strategic message to diffuse a sort of chaotic situation, sort of wins the day. And then we see you here with the Strength card, which is the major arcana card here in your tarot portion. This is the mastery of the self. This is being self-possessed. This sees you confident and overcoming any sort of, like anger management issues, even when things at the office or even at the supermarket, where whatever environment you're in where things get a little testy, you're able to stick up for yourself or stick up for your family or your kin, your loved ones, whatever, and make your case, make your point without becoming a Karen. This is my card of like being able to make your point without being, crusty, without being a Karen, basically. The Strength card is the card of self-mastery, self-possession, confidence, being well-spoken, being able to be in the spotlight without being a diva. So there's a moment where you get to take the floor and you get to speak. And usually it's not only for yourself. It can be for an audience. It can be for a community. It can be for the underserved. It can be for even your pet, your kid, something like that. And we see at the end of the month, we see a lot of opportunities flowing in for you, especially if you're looking for a job, or if you're dating. This would be, a job interview comes in. If you're dating, this is like messages and swipes and however, on dating apps, it would be things like that coming in for you, and opportunities to meet, connect, and audition. Take it as it resonates for you. Wherever you're looking for opportunities, these are the invitations that come in. So all in all, it's the self-possession and the strategy that allow you to get ahead and have your harvest. There's the message to reveal what needs to be seen, but maybe keep certain things hidden if it applies. So Libra, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this has been inspirational. Scorpio, hello. Let's get your Rune card. Gabo. That's awesome. And your Moonology card. Step up and lead. Also awesome. All right. And for the tarot, I'm going to grab one card for the theme and 3 clarifiers. Page of Wands. Judgment. Oops, oopsie doops. There's my modesty crystal for YouTube's sort of modesty issues. And then we have the Queen of Swords and the 3 of Pentacles. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's great. I might be a little bit jealous. So, Gabo is like a gift, reciprocity, connections, union, coming together. This can be like sort of actual stuff that comes in for you. This could be earned gifts or tributes that come in for you. It feels like a win. It feels like positive, good luck or good fortune, divine union. The way I always think of this card, because it's an X, it's like it's like a kiss. Whether you're kissed by another person or sort of kissed by divine fortune, it's like a win. So it could indicate that, for some of you Scorpios, this could be like the kiss of luck, where you get like little gifts and trinkets from friends, family, loved ones. It could be love that comes in, like romantic love or sexy love. If love does come in, whether it's romantic or sexy, it's like the reciprocal kind. Like you get needs met. Whatever kind of needs you have, they're matched. It's even Steven, reciprocal stuff. And then we have step up and lead as your oracle, or your Moonology oracle card. So, as if you needed it, Scorpio, a little nudge to go ahead and take the lead in whatever capacity you're looking for, sort of success or growth or expansion or progress, right? It's time to go ahead and make some moves. If you're looking for more romance, maybe tell the crush that you're interested, or at least make a big sign or some kind of move. If you're not one to initiate, at least get flirting or get on those dating apps, something. At the workplace, it might be time to tell your boss you're ready to take a more direct role. You're ready for leadership. You get the idea. I don't have to explain that card to you, right? All right, let's look at the tarot, because with the Page of Wands, we have you picking up a passion project, moving forward with a passion project, finding some vitality, some excitement, some drive, moving forward with something. And it's different for different Scorpios, right? But it could be an entrepreneurial endeavor. It could be a creative endeavor. It could be an athletic endeavor. And getting maybe more education about it, or making connections, seeking friends and collaborators to join you, or, just putting more energy out there or getting it started. Planting that seed, starting the initial phases. Take it as it resonates for you. So just as a few examples, this could be something like starting a book club, or starting training on a marathon because you want to raise money for Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Or this could be finally deciding you're going to leave the job at the burger place because you really want to work in childhood education. So you're going to go back to school, and you're going to educate yourself on how that happens. Those are just a few random examples of a few random ways that could happen. How it is for you. Maybe you're going to buy a food truck and make cupcakes, and you're going to educate yourself on how food trucks work or something. It could be something, take it as it resonates for you, my dear. But we see very early on in the month some big major shift in how you present yourself to the world, because you've got to follow this dream. You've got to follow this passion. You've got to make this new thing happen. Judgment is the card of, I am not going to fake it anymore. Not like you're a big faker, Scorpio, but there's this new way of presenting yourself, this new thing you want to be in the world. And it can even be, just hit my microphone again. It can even be the sort of thing where, like, maybe you always saw yourself as maybe you had always been, I hate using this example, but it's the first thing that came to mind, and I'm just going to use it. Maybe you had always been in nursing, and you're just finally burned out, and you're like, you know what, I can't handle the pain anymore. I am going to go ahead and leave nursing, and I am going to go work in tax preparation. It's a dumb example, I know, but like, when you do make a move like that, somebody who has always seen you as a nurse might be surprised that you leave nursing, you know, to go do something so way different. But, you know, maybe you just can't be seen as a nurse anymore. Or judgment could also be the kind of thing, like, bear with me, but it could be the kind of thing where maybe you're married for 12 years and you just realize, you know what? Maybe you're like, even though I've been married to Bruce for 12 years, I realize I'm attracted to my friend Mary, and it's not fair to Bruce or to Mary. And so I need to leave this marriage and be true to myself. So it could be an acknowledgement of a sexual awareness. It could be a truth in that way. So judgment can come with a big sort of identity revelation. It can come with a small identity revelation. It can come with stepping out of a box that you have been in for a while, a way you understood yourself or a way you had to hold yourself, even for decades, maybe just for a little while, maybe due to a lack of understanding or a fear or, you know, any number of ways. But now there's this need or a calling to free yourself from the little box and to step out into something more authentic. So judgment is the acknowledgement or the reality or the need or the calling to free yourself into something more real and authentic. And that is in support of this passion project or this need to follow a dream or this need to be more real or really you. So however that shows up for you, like, not everybody is going to be leaving a marriage or changing professions, but it could be something like, I am done chasing my acting dream because I'm just burned out on it. Or I don't want to live in the Midwest anymore. It's time for me to move to Florida. Or, I think you kind of get the idea, but it could be something smaller for you. I'm only thinking of these big dramatic things, but it could be something smaller for you. But you'll know. So now we move to the Queen of Swords, and there's a little bit of justice energy with this card. There's very much a need to sort of purge or clarify, condense. This queen does not suffer fools. She is very clear and direct in her communications. That isn't a recipe or permission to be mean or catty, but it is about not wasting any words or time on being overly fluid or florid with anything. It's about being concise and think Art Deco rather than Art Nouveau. It's about being precise. She's about clarity of purpose, about clarity of mission. So as you step up and lead, she allows you to stay clear-eyed and focused on your priorities, on what really matters, and keeps you from getting distracted by your passions, and maybe even by the old ways or kind of your old ways of doing things. As you're stepping into this new life and following this passion, there may be moments where other folks remind you of how you used to be or how you used to do things, or how things used to be done. And she allows you to stay focused on how we are moving forward. We are purging the things that didn't work. We are shedding the old skin as we move forward. Now, we also have the Three of Pentacles in January, which is a validation of the work you are putting forth, of the good work you're doing, of your talents. This is maybe new followers, new subscribers. This could be a promotion, a new job, or new jobs, new contracts. This can very much feel like a win. So depending on sort of where you are in your career trajectory, even if you're retired, there's something here that feels like a promotion or a validation of your skill set. And this very likely comes with a monetary recompense. So it could be even a speaking engagement or something like that, depending on where you are in your career. But in terms of leadership, there is the potential here for a real like leadership role, like a promotion, an official promotion here as well. This is a card of teamwork, but a card where you rise above the team or stand out from the team so much that you are presented with a role or given a promotion or a position in leadership. You have a very exciting mixed bag here, and a lot of it comes from big shifts that you intend to make, Scorpio. It's very inspiring, and I hope you're excited to get started. I'm going to leave it there. Hello, Sagittarius. Let's get your Rune card. Algies. Okay. Now let's get your Moonology card. Talk less, feel more. Okay. Now let's get your tarot. Ten of Wands. Okay. Oof. Death. Eight of Wands. Wow. Six of Wands. Okay. Wow, that's a lot. So it looks like you're releasing something as something victorious is coming in. Endings and beginnings at the same time. It looks like, I don't want to scare you. I do want to excite you. January is going to have a lot going on. But it's good stuff, exciting stuff. And I think you're going to love a lot of it. So let's get into it. Algies is the spiritual protection rune. This is the scariest card to start with, but don't be scared. This is, you have the spidey sense to clock when something is off, and you get to say, no thank you, ma'am, when you do have that sense. You don't have to say yes to everything, Sagittarius. If something feels off, and there's a lot of stuff coming in, and there's a lot of stuff going out in January. The tarot is telling us that right off. So feel free to trust your gut and say, no, thank you, that is not for me. Honor that gut feeling when you have it, because there's a lot going on. And sometimes there just isn't time for you to do the Google search or whatever practical information, or for you to check with a friend or check with your agent or whoever you might normally check with. So if your gut is going off, or if something is telling you something is not right, just honor it and take appropriate steps or appropriate action. This is actually kind of supported by your Moonology card, Talk Less, Feel More. And sure, that can absolutely be mushy-gushy stuff, right? Where if you don't want to have to say to your crush scary words, you can just like feel them. You can feel things. It can also be the piece about trusting your spidey sense. But it can also be the thing where you don't have to be so much in your head or so much in conversation. You can listen to your heart sometimes too. Okay, so that said, moving to the tarot, your theme is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a harvest, which is awesome. We love harvest, right? Harvest is bringing in the fruits, right? Or the crops. But harvest is also bringing the crops to the market and pricing the crops and cleaning up the machines and paying the farm hands. And, it's all the heavy lifting and getting all of the stems and, messy stuff out of the ground and turning over the soil. There's so much other stuff happening at harvest time. It isn't just getting to eat the delicious ripe fruit. Sometimes there's so much more stuff to go on. It's the hardest work part of the whole farming cycle. I didn't actually grow up on a farm, but I grew up in farm country, and I have farmer friends, and one of my brothers lives on a farm, so I am farm metaphor adjacent. So the Ten of Wands speaks to the time when you know that you're about to cash in, but you also know you're in the middle of such hard work. There's also the piece where you're closing down one cycle. So another way I interpret this card is like closing night of a play. I actually, though I'm not a farmer, I am an actor, and I do a ton, and I have done a ton of theater. So one of the funnest nights and also the hardest nights is closing night, because, usually as a performer, that's often like when your best performance comes out. The material so well, you're so in tune with your fellow actors. You give a really good performance, but you're also, and the audience has heard all your good reviews, so they're really into it. It's also usually a very friendly audience. But then a lot of times on closing night, you have to you barely get to get your accolades, and then you have to immediately get out of your costumes, and then they're striking the set, and they're taking the costumes away, and they're breaking down the dressing rooms, and there's everything gets cleaned up and broken down and taken away, and it's a lot of hard work. And especially if you work in a small theater, which I have done a lot of, sometimes the actor is doing all that work themselves as well, or they're doing that with the crew. So it's a lot of hard work. It's accolades and it's hard work, and all of that stuff has to maybe be thrown in the washing machine and recycled, or whatever. So I don't want to belabor this too much. Too late, right? But it's such hard work plus accolades plus money, or whatever, plus connections, plus feelings, plus loss and grief over the ending, plus, oh wow, I get to free my space up for whatever comes next, and what am I going to do next? So there's all of that. I've spent way too much time on this metaphor. But in any case, January is about an ending that comes with accolades, that comes with the time for a new beginning, that comes with maybe a cash bonus, that comes with a passion project well done, that comes with fill in the blank. Now, this is supported by the rest of these tarot cards, which says there is an ending here that leads to a transformation that has to happen, right? Something is changing in your life. Maybe you're leaving a job. Maybe you've already left that job. Maybe you're leaving a relationship or a living environment or a school. And now you're about to sort of shift or transform or become something new. And when we talk about death, we always talk about, how the caterpillar leaves the ground and forms a chrysalis on a leaf or a branch and becomes goo for a little while, and then eventually changes form, busts out of the chrysalis and becomes a butterfly, a creature of the air, so transformed you wouldn't know that it ever was a caterpillar. So something about you is, because of this ending, because of this passion project, is shifting, changing, molting, becoming something new. And because of that shift, that transformation, new opportunities are flying in faster than you can even receive them. Make sure you're checking all of your email accounts, all of your social media. You might be getting opportunities via DM, via, I don't know, email, snail mail, text message, in all the ways you can get messages. Be checking them, because opportunities to interview, to collaborate, to connect, dates, if you're single, all sorts of messages are coming in. We see such a victory here in the Six of Wands. This is absolute acknowledgement. You see how the central character here is up on a horse with a victory wreath, wearing a victory crown. And you probably can't see it in the art, but there are other humans, down on a lower level here. You are being raised above. So there's something here that is a victory. Getting a job, getting a role in the school play, a validation, going viral on social media. Something happens where you achieve something that puts you in the spotlight, and does it come from one of these opportunities? Is it something that you did over here? Is it this transformation? It will be different for different Sagittarians, but gosh, I am officially jealous. I hope you're inspired to get started in January. Sagittarius, I'm going to leave it right there for you. Hello, Capricorn. Let's get your rune. Oh, rather. Love it. Okay. And your Moonology card. Is, leave the past behind. Wow, those go really well together. And let's do tarot. So I'm going to pull one card for the theme and then 3 clarifiers. Page of Wands. Now that has come up before. Okay. Ooh, beautiful. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now this rune is all about, are we in focus here? Yeah. Rido is all about journeys, travel, movement, progression, moving forward. So it's totally connected to your Moonology card, which is suggesting leaving the, hello, there we go, leaving the past behind, moving forward. It's you don't even need to really discuss much about that. That's pretty straightforward, right? And forward we go. So the Page of Wands is the same. The Page of Wands is about moving forward with a new passion project, a new, it could be a job, but usually it's something that you want to do, you want to create, you want to bring into the world for yourself. Something that you're excited about, or something you need to have or you need to bring. Is something that is tied maybe even to an ego need you have. And of course, ego isn't a bad thing, right? Ego is tied to your identity. Ego is, it can be a boon or beneficial if when used in the right way, right? So something that makes you excited, gets you out of bed in the morning, can be a thing that you want to achieve or bring into the world. So depending on your circumstances or your passions, this could be an entrepreneurial endeavor, this could be a career goal, this could be just a side project, side hustle, or a creative thing you like to do. Cosplay, starting a book club. It could be the kind of thing where you eventually want to leave, a steady day job to do. Like if you want to be a rock star, but at the moment you have a job in tax preparation until the band takes off or whatever. But the fact that this shows up as your theme, there's a real drive to learn more, do better, put more energy into, put more time and love into this passion project or this career goal or ambition in January and potentially in the next year, right? Now, I can't lie, and the art won't let me. It looks like there's some kind of a disappointment you're still dealing with or still reacting to earlier in January, right? The Five of Cups suggests the awareness of a loss. But we always point out, all of us tarot readers do, that in the artwork here, we see the central character is kind of closed off to the fact that they haven't lost everything. There's still two cups here behind them. They're so focused on three cups that have already been used up or spilled or whatever happened. It could just be age, that could be the thing that they've already drunk from these cups and now those are gone. But there's still two more. Or, this character could just go to the castle and get more wine. There are other options for this character. They're just kind of stuck in feeling attached to what was in front of them instead of looking for what is left or what, with a little bit of effort, could be gained. So with this card, there's always the reminder that you can leave the past in the behind, keep moving forward, and there's momentum to be had. You just need to rise and face the reality of the options in front of you, instead of staying stuck on what is no longer true for you. And we do see you bounce back, right? Because with the Two of Wands, here we are, rising above whatever this was. And I don't mean to make light of a loss or a disappointment, but we can even see from the artwork there's more of a maturity with the new vantage point, with this new awareness. There's more passion here too. There is more planning and more conscious effort that comes with the Two of Wands when you take sort of the reins, or you take control back and look at what you can do rather than what is already done, right? And with that, we have, with that taking back of control, we have our major arcana card, Temperance. And we love to see the Temperance because Temperance is actually an angel. And angels in the tarot always mean blessings. So with this, and here's a couple of cups. So we get a couple of cups back. And Temperance means balance. So instead of being out of balance and stuck, we get back into the flow. We get back into the steady, sort of artful flow of life, yin and yang, movement, progression, and blessings, harmony, especially for artistic folks. If this is an artistic project, we see more harmony, we see more flow. But of course, whatever you're passionate about, we do see a better sort of use of your time, energy, and a better reception to what you have to offer. You just get back into the flow by the end of the month. We gotta love that, right? Congratulations, Capricorn. I hope this is helpful and inspirational. Hello, Aquarius. Let's get your Rune card. And Zeus. Love it. Okay. And your Moonology card. Full moon in Aquarius. Be real. Love it. Okay. And then for the tarot, I'm going to grab one card for the theme and 3 clarifiers. Two of Wands. Two of Cups. Death. 3 of Wands. Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. So with your Rune and Zeus, this, if I can get it off the table here, this is the rune of communication, insight, wisdom. This is sort of like the download from the gods. That's what the rune traditionally means. So if you're sort of getting insight or messages, or even some people get it as kind of gut feelings, it could be something along those lines. You could be getting direct messages from people, but this is the sort of thing where it's like a big idea or an insight or sort of enlightenment comes in, and you kind of know, oh, now I know which way I want to go, or now I know what I have to do, or maybe even I know where I went wrong and I know how I want to fix it. That kind of a thing is what this rune is all about. That's paired with your Moonology card that is all about being genuine, being authentic. Now, usually Aquarius doesn't have a problem with that. In fact, I have to laugh because some people might even accuse Aquarius of being too real sometimes. But take it as it resonates for you. This is an invitation to be authentic. Now, sometimes Aquarius, you might be a little, I say this with respect, because you aren't known for being super touchy-feely. You might be known for being aloof, or for people not understanding your version of reality. So maybe there's an invitation here that your reality isn't received. So maybe there's something in the communication piece that it's about communicating your reality so that others receive it. That could be, marrying those two ideas. Food for thought. I say that as someone who had a sister who was an Aquarius, and as having dated an Aquarian, and I had an Aquarian boss, and so I have, as a non-Aquarian myself, but experience trying to translate the Aquarian experience, as it were. I'm just putting that out there with love and respect. Okay. So now to the tarot, we have the Two of Wands, which is all about plotting and planning your takeover, benevolent takeover, I should say. The Two of Wands is all about being able to take your ambitions, and I use ambition like, again, benevolently. Some people have a hard time with that, like ambition is a bad thing. No, it's awesome. It's okay to have goals and dreams and to want things out of life, right? So the things that you want and what you're planning for the next year and your goals and all of that, wherever they are, being able to see them and to see the bits and pieces, the steps you can take to make the world you want happen and the life you want happen. That's what the Two of Wands is all about. Wands is the suit of our passions, our ambitions, what gets us excited, what makes us feel alive, right? What gets us up in the morning. Some of us have jobs that just pay the bills, and then we have like the career stuff that makes us excited. So this could be about the dreams we have, not just paying the bills, but those career sort of dreams, creative ambitions. Or this could be about our crush, the plans we have to hit some romantic goals, or and maybe some other life goals that we want. It could be different for different Aquarians, so take it as it resonates for you. There could be a whole like life package that you want to put into play starting in January, moving forward into the year. Be real. But when we look at the clarifiers here, I see a few things. We see the Two of Cups, which can be a romantic card, right? Obviously, the Two of Cups can be about romantic relationships, about making a romantic connection. So whether you're single and looking, this can be a great sign for making a connection in the real world, online, through, what are those called? matchmaker, or, you know, what are those things when you go to a place like speed dating, like an in-person event? You could do something like that. So a friend could fix you up. You know, there could be progress in, if you're single, it could be in an established relationship where you move to the next level or recommit to one another. You could make progress that way. But the Two of Cups doesn't have to be in the area of romantic relationships. It can be in business, making an important collaboration or contract. It could be getting a job somewhere that you've always wanted to work, or in an industry you really want to work in. But more likely it could be like becoming a part of a team that you work really, really well with, something along those lines. This could also be really forming a tight connection with a friend that is a great buddy and someone you can be your messy self with. Just an awareness of that kind of a friendship, and bonding with a friend, having a friend's night out, or something like that. Now, we also see in January the Death card. This has a very heavy weight in your reading. It's, of course, all about transformation, right? And I always have to talk about the caterpillar and the butterfly when this card comes up. You know, a caterpillar has a moment or a phase where it has to stop being a caterpillar, climbs up a twig to a branch, spins a chrysalis, and has a phase, a few weeks where it breaks down its form and stops being a caterpillar, stops being anything really, and shifts, changes, dies a little bit until it becomes this other thing. It transforms into a new creature, busts out of that chrysalis, and in the sun, tries out its new wings. It's all of a sudden a butterfly and a creature of the air, which is completely, utterly different from the creature it was before. So at some point in January, Aquarius, you may become aware that you have utterly changed. Is it in response to this moment or this thing? Is it in response to deciding to chase a dream? You know, or is it just time that, you know, in the same way that the caterpillar isn't responding to another person, it just has its own clock, its own internal clock where it has to change when it has to change. Who knows? It could be different for different Aquarians too. But you'll know that you may have an awareness that you have to be different now. You're a different creature. And the Three of Wands is all about expansion. It's all about a sort of victory. Maybe you get a new job, or there's a new plateau in terms of your passion project or your career goals or whatever. This is that you're taking steps to, and you're scheduling or making connections or whatever this is. There's a new level of expansion, success, a victory, something that you can put in the calendar, or in some way there's a new level of victory and a real recognizable moment of success. You end the month being aware that you're checking off your to-do list, you're seeing progress and meeting benchmarks with this project or with your aspiration. I'm stoked for you. I hope you're inspired too. I'm going to leave it there for you. Hello, Pisces. Let's get your rune. Three Zaz. Okay, we can handle that. And your Moonology card. Ooh, Detoxify. It just jumped right out. And it's totally related to Three Zaz. Now, for your tarot, I'm going to get one card for the theme and then 3 clarifiers. Oh, wow. 10 of Cups is the theme. 9 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. 9 of Wands. Yeah. Okay. Pisces. You do need to take care of yourself. We've got that message all over the place. So with Three Zaz, this is also Thorn. There you go. Now, this has words on it that are contrary to some of the words on here don't quite go along with how I interpret this card. So this is about sort of self-protection. It's like the thorn that comes on a rose. It can be like a warning, or it can be like protection. It can keep you from harming yourself, from going further. So that paired with Detoxify and the 9 of Wands, which is about, setting good boundaries, about honoring. This is kind of like when you're feeling a little stiff after working out too hard. This is like, don't go any further. You've worked out too hard. Set a limit or take a day off from the workout. It's that kind of feeling with that. So there are a few cards here that are kind of about take a bit of a break, or honor sort of the thorns that come with the roses, or maybe watch what you're ingesting. It might be different for different Pisceans. Don't work out, don't overwork out, or do be sure to set boundaries with certain people. Take it as it resonates for you. This is not like an extreme warning about extreme dangers. These are cards that are kind of like, there are ways that you are not totally being good to yourself, and you need to take better care of yourself. You need to honor the sort of warning signs that are available directly in front of you, that your body is giving you, kind of cards. Okay? And I say this with so much love and respect. And I'm going to move on to the tarot now, because these are fun. 10 of Cups, fun, fun, fun. This is an ending and a beginning, so kind of like a plateau. So like something wonderful gets to be sort of harvested, and you get to start a new wonderful thing at the same time, in the area of like emotional connections, emotional satisfaction, right? It's kind of like pictured in the art here. We have how an emotional connection a romantic emotional connection can lead to that, emotional satisfaction between two people can then lead to, even more love. Oh, I can't even see it. Even more love with the baby, right? So one level leads to like the next is sort of iteration. Tens, and we have two tens here, and we have two nines. So we also see you at the ends of cycles, but I'm getting ahead of myself again. So a 10 is ending and a beginning. We have two of those. So the ending or the harvest in one phase and the very beginning of a new chapter in the area of your emotional satisfaction, emotional connections. Often romantic, can be family, can also be something like your band or your improv troupe, and making expansions there. Finding your tribe, finding your people, and really knowing you can be your truest, messy self, being your vulnerable self, and building on that. That is your theme for January. So all the ways that you can build on that and begin a new chapter. So for a lot of people, that will be in some sort of family unit. For some people, that will be your creative people. For some people, that will be your work tribe. So take it as it resonates for you. But again, it's either, building on your family, and it doesn't necessarily mean pregnancy for everybody, but one or two of you could be experiencing, that joy, or there could be an addition, like maybe your sister is pregnant or your niece is pregnant, something like that. For the folks that are creatively driven, it could be the sort of thing where there's where you have your emotional satisfaction within your creative tribe, and you are working on a new project, a new play, or whatever it is. Or if your emotional satisfaction is with your cosplay troupe, maybe you're putting together a new event. It could be, and that you're meeting in January to kind of put together an event for later in the year, something like that. Take it as it resonates for you, okay? Now, the cards that we have that are supporting our main theme here: Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and Nine of Wands. Nine of Pentacles can be an independent energy, but this is sort of within this finding your tribe or having your tribe, celebrating your tribe energy, right? So there's an entrepreneurial vibe with the Nine of Pentacles. She is skilled and has some sort of capacity at maybe she has her own YouTube channel or Etsy store or something along those lines, or could be an artist. And I'm just using she out of habit. The artwork supports that, but it really could be any gender, right? And the Nine of Pentacles suggests gaining followers, gaining sales, gaining momentum in, your art or industry, whatever that might be. Feeling validated or successful in your field. She's literally in her field, right? Feeling validated, successful, secure, and seen in that way. The Ten of Pentacles, kind of the next level, is the legacy of that, reaching another, like the next level, not just being seen and validated and getting more orders or getting, some sort of security in that way, but thinking of your legacy, For some folks, there could literally be something along the lines of whatever a retrospective might be, or being able to stock something away in terms of savings and inheritance, stocks, CDs, what that looks like in terms of your retirement plan, what you can put away for your kids or nieces and nephews, or I hope you can see that in the card we have, generations here, which represent sort of the legacy, the inheritance, and even the love of pets. So there's the aspect of charity, if that makes sense for you. If it doesn't, these are challenging times right now. It can certainly be about taking care of yourself and feeling comfortable, confident, what legacy or inheritance looks like in these times. If it isn't about finances, it can also be about your expertise, sharing your expertise, sharing your knowledge, getting another job, getting another gig, getting another contract. Again, it could be different for different Pisces, but take it as it resonates for you. And finally, we have that last card about setting boundaries, about taking care of yourself. This is very much a card about focusing on priorities. So as you are inclined to do your cottage industries, be entrepreneurial, thinking ahead to your legacy, and maybe picking up another job or taking on speaking engagements or whatever this might be for you, and maintaining your emotional connections, do be sure to take care of yourself. Don't work too hard. Honor those signs that are coming from your body that you may be pushing too hard, or in the past, if you've been ill, that you still may be in recovery mode or healing mode. Do take good care of yourself because the Nine of Wands suggests that there could be some vitality issues or some recovery issues that it just makes sense to honor in January. So Pisces, I'm going to leave it there for you. It looks like a winning month as long as you honor your health. I hope this has been inspirational.